Great to get you. So the first thing I always like to do is have you introduce yourself and your organization.
Sure. My name is Evelyn Wald, and I am the Executive Director for the Center for Alternatives in Community Justice, also known as CACJ.
And what is the marching orders, the charge for CACJ? CJ, I'm sorry.
So if by marching orders you mean what is our mission is absolutely to bring alternatives to the justice system, in particular restorative justice, so that we can literally help people communicate with each other and restore, rebuild, or perhaps build for the first time relationships with one another and within the community.
And maybe explain how that, like some real world, tangible ways you see that manifest itself on a weekly basis.
Sure. So CACJ has been around for about 42 years. And over that time, we've developed all kinds of programs. So one of the programs we do is something called supervised bail. So when a person is arrested, our supervised bail staff interviews them. And if they are eligible and fit the qualifications, while they're waiting to be sentenced, rather than sit in prison, our bail supervisor works with them. She may be helping them get reconnected with their family, find housing, find a job. And even after they're sentenced, if they continue to qualify, she has anywhere from weekly to daily contact with them as they serve their sentence, which often does not happen in the correctional facility. And I can tell you, Brian, that in any given year, we probably save the county anywhere from $200,000 to $300,000 in that program alone by not having the person incarcerated.
Wow, that's a big number, and that's a real number. What are some of your more pressing issues right now, would you say?
I think like everybody else, a lot of our pressing issues were shifting to a virtual platform and understanding that and doing that. But I'm happy to say that we didn't miss any time serving our clients, except interviews, for example, were not able to happen in the correctional facility due to COVID, and that opens up and changes as time goes on. I think the other pressing issues are really that we're trying to take a judicial system and a criminal system that really focuses on punishment, and we're trying to open up that possibility that rather than punishment, again, it focuses on the opportunity for restorative justice. And so we continue to introduce and reintroduce our programs to our judicial system, our law enforcement folks. And I'm happy to say, Brian, that more and more folks are getting on board and saying, you know what, this works. This really works.
I love that. And, I do a little, actually, I do a lot of reading, and it's that seems that restorative aspect seems to work in a lot of countries to great success. And to hear you say that's the focus, that's makes you feel good.
Yeah. Well, one of the other programs that we do, Brian, is all 4 of our judges in Center County support mediation. And so every Wednesday, I sit in custody court, and there can be anywhere from 2 to 15 families there. And our judges really urge them to do mediation, which means instead of a judge making decisions for them about their children and moving forward, they have the chance to do that. So I like to say to people, come to CACJ. We sit around a nice round table. I said it's like sitting at your kitchen table, except I'm there and trying to really help facilitate conversation. And there's resistance on the part of these folks to do mediation. But when it's court ordered, you don't have a choice. Right. And I'm happy to say that anywhere between 75 to 80% of the folks that are even court ordered to go to mediation are able to reach an agreement. And many of those folks return to us again later when there are transitions or things that need to happen. And so I think,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to say, so you are a partner agency of the United Way. How are they interacting with what you are doing on a weekly basis?
Right. So, Brian, the two programs that I already talked about are funded by the United Way. And we have a third program funded by the United Way called the Youth Aid Panel. And that's for young people under the age of 18 that have gotten into trouble. You and I probably got into a lot of trouble when we were teenagers, but we didn't get caught. These are young people. Right?
I was deprived of that. I didn't have a curfew or anything, so I couldn't sneak out and I couldn't get in trouble. So I was an outlier, though. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Well, I can tell you I got in trouble and didn't get caught a lot of times. So these are young people that this is their first offense. It might be underage drinking. It might be stealing from the local Target store. It might be getting into a fight with a student at school. And rather than go through the courts, again, our magisterial district justices partner with us and refer these kids to our program. And what happens then is we have volunteers that mentor them and try to help them understand the short and long-term consequences of what happened. So for example, if they didn't go through our program, they would have a juvenile record. And let's say as a 15-year-old, you wanted to go into the military. Well, if you have a juvenile record, you can't go into the military. So it's an opportunity really to help them see and to support them again. And when they complete our program, which takes 3 to 6 months, we let the magisterial district justice know that they graduated, and then their charges are dropped, and often the $300 fines that they face are also dropped. So it's another way that we can offer the community an opportunity, and hopefully as those young people grow, this really has an impact on them. So again, without the United Way dollars, we wouldn't be able to continue all of these programs that greatly impact the community.
Wow. And do you work with some of the other partner agencies of the United Way?
Indeed, we do. So going back to our supervised bail program, our staff there works with the housing folks, the food bank, various and sundry places that provide training for moving forward in a career. We partner with the Youth Service Bureau and other organizations with our Youth Aid Panel. And so, yes, we're well connected and always looking for ways to connect with other partner agencies.
And if someone wanted to either volunteer or wanted to donate, how would they contact you or reach out?
Right. So in either case, you could go on our website and you can donate or contact us through our website, which is www.cacj.org, or they could contact us through our email, which is, again, very simply cacj@cacj.us, and we'll respond in either case.
Well, I can't thank you enough for your time, and I can't thank you enough because I think the takeaway is restorative justice and a system that historically has not been pointed in that direction. So thank you for that, and best of luck to you, and keep fighting the good fight.
Thank you, Brian. It's a pleasure to serve the community, and we will keep fighting the fight.